Welcome to this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. I'm Troy Grimmond.
And I'm Brant Farsko. Thanks for tuning in.
The Utah Tech women's basketball team is now 8-8 on the season after emerging victorious over a Pac-12 opponent, the University of Oregon. Maggie McCord and Maddie Warren made their marks on the game. McCord dropped 24 and Warren earned 21 points. Brianna Gillen recorded the only triple-double of the night with 17 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds. The Blazers' next opponent is their rival, the Southern Utah University Thunderbirds, and they face off tonight at 7 p.m. in the Burns Arena.
As for men's basketball, the Trailblazers clinched a huge conference win against Stephen F. Austin. Many returning players saw competition against former Utah Tech player Frank Stain, who transferred to SFA last year. But with Noah Gonzalez on fire at the three-point line, he led the team in points scored with 18. And the Trailblazers ended the game on top, 75-70. Next up, the team will also take on the SUU Thunderbirds at 6:30 tonight in Cedar City. The last time these men's basketball teams saw SUU was in Vegas, March 9th, I believe, and they actually lost by only 1 point.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a battle between these two teams. It's rivalry week. Tensions run high. Both teams just want to win. That's what they came here to do. SUU's a great team. The Blazers are a great team. They're both having great seasons. The Blazers had one upset against UVU, and that's kind of kick-started their entire season so far, and they're doing a great job at it.
Yeah, and then one game in Cedar and one game in St. George. Both crowds are going to be full.
Both crowds are going to be full, and it's going to be a huge factor, too, because that SUU, according to Eric Demings and Tanner Christensen, going up there to SUU, it's like walking into a fire pit. I mean, it's going to be rowdy, it's going to be rough, but they're going to find a way to come together and get the dub. The Blazers women's tennis is kicking off their season tomorrow with a game up north against the University of Utah. The Blazers were thoroughly bested the last time these two teams faced off, losing all 5 sets on a 7-game losing streak. However, you have to remember that this match was a year ago, and the Blazers have had multiple top 10 finishes during the preseason, the most recent placement being a 7th place finish at the UNLV Watanabe Classic.
The Utah Tech men's baseball team is ready to swing into their 2024 season. The Trailblazers have nearly a brand new roster, including 18 new players, 10 of which are transfers. The team also welcomed former major leaguer Daniel Stange as the new pitching coach. As the season unfolds, expect to see 11 games against Power 5 conference schools and home games against in-state opponents BYU, University of Utah, and Utah Valley. After last season, the team finished 13-9, marking their worst record since joining the Division I play. The Trailblazers will start the season with a 4-game stretch against Washington State, Friday through Sunday at the Bruce Hurst Field. In honor of Club Rush this week, we talked to a couple of sport clubs on campus to hear about their achievements and upcoming expectations. First up is Avi Beck, a member of the Trailblazers Pickleball Club who took home the championship with her team January 3rd.
So I've been playing for 2.5 years. I originally played tennis, and then it was a pretty easy transition. I was going to play college tennis, but then I decided that I wanted to try to go play professionally and play for college pickleball instead. Definitely the finals, where the crowd was just like super intense. The teammates were cheering me on, and just having my team together, super united. It was just like such a surreal feeling. I think that it was a huge step in the right direction for our club itself, getting that recognition. And then for me personally, I'm trying to play pro myself, so I think it's just a huge step in the right direction on both sides. And then I think it's great for college pickleball to maybe one day be an NCAA sport, and I think that that was huge recognition for that aspect as well. I enjoy doubles more, just the energy, like bouncing off my partner, back and forth, hyping each other up. I think that's the most fun. I do enjoy singles, but definitely like that side-by-side partner. I think if we played like we did at that last tournament, I think Utah Tech will come up on top again, and I think we should get another win in our next tournament.
Next, we have the women's lacrosse team. This team grew from 2 consistent members of the team to a full team of 12.
I joined just because I like to play lacrosse and I needed something to do in college, so I was like, let me just join. This will be fun. So.
Yeah, I actually had a different experience. I never played lacrosse before, and actually this was an ad for it. Me and my friend was like, do you want to join lacrosse? And I was like, I've never played. She's like, me neither. And we were there the next day, and I've been there ever since. So.
Our game schedule, so this semester we're traveling up to Boise for a tournament.
We're going to NAU.
We're going to Northern Arizona, and we're going to have a tournament here as well that we're getting a few schools to come to, so good times. The team has grown so much. When we first started, last year was pretty much our first time like ever meeting, and we had probably like 5 girls come.
Oh, sometimes there's even like
Less,
2 people.
yeah. But now we have like a pretty consistent like 12, which is like a full team, which is really awesome, and we're still trying to get more. So like we're just growing a lot. Like we had our first games last year. Like it's been super fun. Well, personally, my favorite memory, we went up to UVU. We didn't end up playing because of weather.
Oh,
but
yeah, it was so bad.
It was pretty bad, but it was really fun. We just hung out at the hotel. It was team bonding pretty much. Super fun. That was a great time.
Actually, that's probably one of my favorite times too. So it's just bad because we didn't actually play that time. But it was really fun this Halloween. We played with the boys and we all wore our costumes and did like a men's versus women's. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Others should join the club. I don't know. It's so fun. We have a great time. All the girls are super close. We all like to just joke around, have fun.
Yep, it's a lot of fun and it's a great way to stay healthy.
True.
Don't get the freshman 15.
Well, I didn't even know there was a women's lacrosse club here at Utah Tech, but I'm glad to see it. You know, with lacrosse getting more popular and popular, we just got a men's club about 2, maybe 3 years ago. So it's good to see that that sport is evolving.
Well, it's super cool too, and like they said, don't get the freshman 15. It's a really good sport to stay in shape. It is so fast-paced. It's very quick. You move the ball down from each side of the field. There's no shot clock. You can just run around holding the ball, trying to set up plays. I mean, it's physically exhausting on both ends, and it's a great sport to be playing. And pickleball, on the other hand, is also great because you heard the video. It's a pipeline to go pro, and it's just a club. And I think that's super cool that even by joining just a club at Utah Tech here, you can pursue a dream of wanting to go pro.
And I was a little hesitant with pickleball at first. When I first heard about it, I kind of always just thought about it as old people tennis. But after giving it a second shot, I actually do enjoy it. It's a very fun game.
And everyone plays it up here. It's a huge part of this community out here in St. George, and it's super sick that you can find pathways to get to where you want to go through pickleball. After the break, we'll be back with Sun News guest anchor Annie Meerbrook for an update of your university news.
At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, we see champions everywhere we look. In every sport, on every court, we're building a foundation to ensure all athletes are safe, supported, and strengthened. At the U.S. Center for Safe Sport, ending abuse is not just our job, it's our promise.
Hello Trailblazers, I'm Annie Meerbrook and this is your university news. Utah Tech University President Richard Biff Williams resigns to pursue new professional opportunities. In his role as president, Williams oversaw rapid growth in our university. Enrollment has grown 51% since 2014. In the past decade, master's, bachelor's, and associate's programs have more than doubled. The athletic program is now deemed a Division I school with 16 athletic teams competing in the division. Williams also oversaw the name change of Dixie State University to Utah Tech University. Courtney White is now the interim president of the university. White has been with the university before and was previously president of executive affairs, working closely with Williams in the past. In a news release, White said, "Utah Tech University has made an incredible impact on our students and community over the last decade. I'm excited to work with our dedicated faculty, staff, alumni, and community members as we continue to prepare our students for success." In other news, Utah Tech University welcomes Lance Anderson as the new head football coach in the program's National Collegiate Athletics Association era. The executive director of Intercollegiate Athletics, Ken Beezer, introduced Coach Anderson December 8th, praising his wealth of successful coaching experience and overall program development. Former university president Richard Williams also expressed excitement about Coach Anderson's arrival, highlighting his coaching experience. He has experience in the highest level of college football and has benefits for Utah Tech as they progress in the Division I program. Coach Anderson, who previously served as an offensive senior analyst at Boise State, expressed his enthusiasm for leading the Trailblazer football program.
First, I'd like to, I'm equally impressed with Ken and his vision and plan for the athletic department. He has a proven record of developing winners and supporting his athletic programs and his coaches and giving them the resources to be successful. This is a place with unlimited potential, and I'm so looking forward to working along with him to accomplish the goals here and to bring a winning football program here to Utah Tech University.
Before joining Boise State, Anderson spent 16 seasons on the football staff at Stanford University. He played a crucial role in Stanford's nationally ranked recruiting classes. His efforts were recognized as he earned the 2012 Recruiter of the Year by Scott.com. With his extensive coaching experience, strategic vision, and commitment to development, Lance Anderson looks forward to leading Utah Tech University's football team to new heights both on and off the field. Lance says, "I look forward to building a winning football program at Utah Tech University that this community can be proud of on and off the field." And that's all for your university news. I'm Annie Meerbrook.
Thanks, Annie. And you know, a winning football program here at Utah Tech would be great. But let's look deeper into his past as a football player and as a football coach. He played linebacker at Idaho State as a walk-on in 1993 and 94. And then in 2005 and 2006, Anderson was the defensive line coach and recruiting coordinator for Jim Harbaugh at San Diego.
And coaching under Harbaugh is a big factor here. Harbaugh has a history of winning. He played at Michigan, his alma mater in his college days, won a lot of games back then, and then headed into the coaching business after he finished up playing. He coached for the San Francisco 49ers, had great years with them, won a championship with them, and then came back to go coach for his alma mater, the University of Michigan, where he went 89-25, huge winning record, and going 3 seasons in a row of straight playoff appearances, and just won a national championship for the Wolverines this season.
And that's big. And while at Stanford, Anderson, from 2007 to 2009, he was the defensive line coach and the recruiting coordinator. Then in 2010 and 13, he was the outside linebacker and the recruiting coordinator. Then in 2014 and 17, he was just the overall defensive coordinator.
Well, and that era, Brant, is considered one of the most successful eras in Stanford Cardinal football history. It's known as the most winningest decade in football history. They've had 10 consecutive bowl game appearances, the 3 Pac-12 championships, pardon me, and of course the winningest decade, and that's huge. That's Lance Anderson knows how to win, and he's worked with defensive linemen and players before. He's recruited them. He knows what he wants to see in them. And last year, the Blazers' defense was lacking. You give up 28 points, 4 touchdowns worth, in all the games that you've lost except for 2. And that's just not how you're going to win football. That's not how you win football games. If you give up 28 points, your offense is going to be in this hole to try and get you out of that 4 touchdown deficit. And that's just not happening. Yeah, I mean, the offense could be shaken up a little bit for the Blazers as well. I mean, Bo Sparks is in the transfer portal. He's heading to Texas State. He was a Jerry Rice nominee, an All-American, Freshman of the Year. And then Ricky Johnson ran out of eligibility. He ran out, so he's done. And now it's time for the Blazers to try and switch things up a little bit. Last year under Paul Peterson, rushing yards was 1,278. Passing yards last year under Paul Peterson, 2,960. We had 1,682 more passing yards than rushing. If I'm a defensive coordinator of another team, I'm thinking, okay, I'm rushing 3 and I'm going zone cover 3 the entire time. You're not going to throw this ball. I'm not letting you have anything over the middle. Now that our 2 wide receiver weapons are gone, I would like to see the run game get more established. Get Ronnie Walker Jr. the ball. Let him run his feet off. I mean, there's so much stuff we can do with this season coming up. And that's it for this week's edition of Sun News Blazer Beat. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you here next week, same time, same place. Have a great week, Trailblazers.